Welcome back, everyone. This time we're going to touch on the principles of repetition and variation as it relates to design. We're going to begin with these simple light squares on a dark background. They're just three simple squares, nothing fancy, so the question becomes, what can we do to add variation to what we're seeing right now? Well, you probably just barely saw that center square move, but of course that's not really enough, so there needs to be more that we can do here. Think of variation, think of replacing that word with interest. We're adding visual interest to the scene. Yeah, well, who am I trying to kid? There's a lot more that can be done. Let's try something else here. Okay, so I think we're starting to follow the gist of the principle more. However, we've gone away from the three traditional squares. Is that a problem? Perhaps in some design applications or requirements it could be. Still, for the sake of variation or greater visual interest, I think we're starting to get the job done. So, what else can we consider doing here? So for the sake of seeing what the possibilities might be, we're going to try out a couple of other ideas here. Hopefully we're pushing the idea of variation further along and we're still holding the visual interest of the viewer a bit longer. And then here we're adding a complementary color. Well, does it work? What do you think? Is there more that we can do? So the question quickly becomes, when is enough enough? Have we gone too far? Again, I think in the spirit of simple grayed out greens and the simple addition of red, we probably have gone too far. However, in some people's minds, this could be considered a great design. Still, one has to acknowledge that it's a far cry from what we started out with. So perhaps we've gone too far with this design. Still, some might consider it great as is, but it's a matter of personal choice or the consideration of the client. Do they like it? So here we have this kitten. It has some repetition in it going on. What would that repetition be? At the same time, what would the variation be? Stop the video and look at it for a second if you need to. And then there's this image. What do you see repeating and what do you see expressing variation? So in this watercolor painting, the repetition and variation relationship may be a little more difficult to see. But what do you think that could be? Let me give you a little hint. Think in terms of the artist's mark making or brush work style and consider the use of color as opposed to choice of subject matter. Well, okay. Thanks for considering these ideas on the subject of repetition and variation with me. You'll have plenty of opportunity to do a couple of assignments this semester that will help you explore this idea. Thanks for watching.